Hello, Sorcery friends. Welcome to my first Sorcery Contested Realm beta deck tech and upgrade video on the channel. Today we're looking at this very awesome Tadpole Pool Sorcery playmat. It's got the Sorcery logo down here at the bottom, and it's got half of the grid that you can play on. Your opponent would have their playmat. You can play Sorcery on that. But today we're going to look at the pre-constructed decks from Sorcery. Today we're going to concentrate on the Waveshaper. This is the water pre-constructed deck. I'll be honest, I don't know what the contents of each of these pre-constructed deck kits are, so part of the purpose of this video is to open these up and give some attention to what the cards are in the pre-constructed deck, so you know if you want to buy one of these. Also to make some suggestions and upgrades so that we could improve the playability of these entry-level decks and make them somewhat a little more competitive to play our first game of Sorcery. Also, I want to point out that Jesse over at the Winning Agenda and Hayne at the Wizard's Den did a great deck tech and Sorcery game with the pre-constructed decks, where Jesse opened up the Waveshaper and Flamecaller decks, I believe, and modified them a little bit. And then Hayne, conversely, he opened up the Spark Mage and the Geomancer deck, and then they made some suggestions on how to improve the decks, and then they played against each other and tested the decks out. And so those are very great videos, very informative tutorials on how to improve the decks. My video today will be similar, but I'm just going to focus on the Water Elemental Waveshaper deck from the beta release. Here we go. Let's crack this open and see what we get inside. And then now that we finally have enough cards to upgrade our decks, I'll make some other suggestions today and let you know what might improve this deck. This is something I do quite often with Magic the Gathering cards, so it's a very fun way to explore the sets and the power levels of the different decks. But so as you can see, there should be 1 Avatar, 16 Atlases, and 36 spellbooks. So in order to make a playable deck, you need 60 cards plus the Avatar. There's a little styrofoam to keep the cards from sliding around, and I think these decks are wide enough where if you sleeved up your deck with deck sleeves, they would fit nicely inside of this box. So you could use that as a little carrying case and put it in your Sorcery deck box just like that. So here's Sorcery. This is going to be, we'll put this one right here so we know it's the Waveshaper deck tech video. So we get 16 Atlases and I think 36 spells. So you're going to need at least 4 Atlases and at least 4 spells to make a functional Sorcery deck. Card quality on this looks amazing. This is just fan those out. That looks pretty sweet here. So that's the Sorcery deck tech of the Waveshaper deck. I'll go through the contents of the pre-constructed deck for you real quick so you can see what you get inside. You get the Avatar, which is the Waveshaper. We'll put that right there. I don't know how many elites or uniques, but I'm expecting probably 1 unique per deck maybe. And no foils. I don't think you get any foils in the pre-constructed decks. So there's a Dulavin Kraken, which is an elite. That's very good elite card. Costs 8 and does 8 damage. I might take that one out because it seems like it's very hard to play. There's also 2 exceptionals. These are the Anui Undine, art by Tony Scazuto. And you can tell these are also beta because they have the beta symbol. I don't think there's any differences in these cards from the ones you get in the beta booster packs. They look the same. They say spellbook on the back, but that is an exceptional, so I'll put that in the exceptional pile right here. And yes, I'll do this. Then we have 2 Sea Serpents. Those are ordinaries, so I'll put those here like that. I think I'll have room to show everything today. We have Sedge Crabs, which is an ordinary. You can also tell these are all water cards because this box at the top is blue. There's also the triangle pointing downward, which lets you know it's the water element. 2 Swamp Buffaloes. 1 porcupine pufferfish is an ordinary. 2 exceptional tide naiads. We have ordinary, exceptional, and elite. An ordinary swan maidens. 2 ordinary polar bears. 2 ordinary coral reef kelpie. There should be a good mix of like mortals and creatures and spells. This is an exceptional Brob Dingang Bullfrog. I'm just butchering the names today, but that's okay. And you can play 4 copies of the ordinary, kind of like Magic. These are like commons. You can play 4 copies of the ordinaries, 3 copies of each exceptional, 2 copies of each elites, and only 1 copy of unique cards. We have 2 ordinary deep sea mermaids, 1 exceptional guile sirens, 1 ordinary tufted turtles, 2 ordinary pirate ships, 1 elite Siriwan Hydra. So there's a second elite card of the deck, and an exceptional Trunken Treasure. It's a Sunken Treasure by Jeff Mangus, our good buddy. We have another exceptional Flood. We have an exceptional Mariner's Curse. 2 ordinary Riptides. Let's put those over here. 2 ordinary Drowns. 2 ordinary Ice Lance. We have an exceptional Font of Life by Anson Maddox, who did Magic the Gathering cards. We have an exceptional Stormy Seas by Vincent Pompetti. We have an elite Wrath of the Sea. That's our 3rd elite. And then I think, so those are all the spells. Now we have the atlases. We have an Autumn River, 3 Autumn Rivers. We'll put those up here maybe. This is ordinary sites. Those go there. We have ordinary 3 copies of Spring River. Those are also ordinary. We have Summer River, 3 copies of Summer River. Those are ordinaries. Put those right there. Then we have an exceptional, 3 copies of Undertow. These are exceptional sites. Put those right there. We have 2 copies of Floodplain. Those are exceptional sites as well. And then we have 1 unique site. We have a Maelstrom. That's gonna be right here. And then an elite Island Leviathan. May transform into a monster. Place flooded rubble underneath. Okay, so let's do that. These are our ordinary sites, exceptional sites. All right, so now to do the deck tech, I pulled some extra cards from all the beta booster packs that I've opened. I did about 30 to 40 additional cards from each element. This little package I pulled out of the water element cards. So we have the good cards in this deck are Drown, Pirate Ship, Riptide, Tufted Turtles, Autumn River, the Bullfrog, Fellbog, Frogman, if you want to go for the frog theme with the playmat, Frost, Nova, Geyser, Sea Raider, Stormy Seas, Unland Eel, and then some sites. We have Floodplain, Free City, exceptional. We have Undertow, and then Polymorph, Replication, Self-Same Simulacrum. I think we'll want to put in Wrath of the Sea, and then also our Tadpole Pool. Let's start with the sites. That's probably what I'll do first, because we want to add 4 sites to this deck to make sure we have enough Atlas sites. So how many did I? 1, 2, 3. I think I only grabbed 4. So I only have 4 additional sites. We have 2 copies. We can add a 3rd floodplain. We can add a free city down here. I think we're at the max of Undertow, so that can be a different site, I think. And then Tadpole Pool will be our other unique sites. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Probably we could just put in one more of the rivers, like Summer River, Spring River, Autumn River would probably do it. Or we could replace this Undertow with another, let's replace that one with another site. Let's see if I have another one handy. Not in that deck. Maybe in the air elements. Mountain Pass. Oh, there we go. Mirror Realm. We can put Mirror Realm in. This is a unique site. It copies any other site nearby. So this was probably a $35 site in non-foil. So we'll add that to our Waveshaper water deck. And now we'll have our 20 atlases that we need. Autumn, spring, summer, 3 floodplain, 3 Undertow. Free City, Maelstrom, Island, Leviathan, Tadpole Pool, and Mirror Realm. Those are going to be our 20 atlases. And then I'll spread those out at the very end too, so you can see what's in the deck. Now we're going to swap some of these cards with better cards that I do think these are better. We have another Wrath of the Sea right here. So let's put in, it's an elite, so let's put in 2 copies of Wrath of the Sea. Let's take out this Kraken because it's costs 8. Keep the mana curve down. Drown is a good card. It submerges target minions or artifacts if you're able. There's 2 copies of Drown in there, so we're gonna put 2 more copies in the deck. And I think we'll take out Ice Lance shoots projectiles. Riptide is good. Deep Sea Mermaids is probably not the most helpful in this deck. Draw your bottommost spell with the Deep Sea Mermaids. So let's take out Deep Sea Mermaids. Let's put in 2 copies of Drown right here. And then we also want to add up to 4 spells to make sure we have 40 spells in our spell book. So those are extra. We have Pirate Ship is good. We have 2 copies of Pirate Ship. Let's just add 2 copies here. So now we have 4 Pirate Ships. And then we'll add 2 Riptides so that we have 4 copies of Riptide. Riptide, target water spell, target water site pulls in an above ground unit it's adjacent to, and then you draw a card. So that's pretty good. Those are extra. Tufted Turtles is good. Let's put in 3 copies so that we have 4 copies of Tufted Turtles. This one's extra. Let's pull out Swamp Buffalo and Porcupine. Pufferfish. This has Lethal and Submerge, and this is Impasse. Plump and Peaceful. This is just an ordinary beast. Let's take that out. Oh, we do have an Autumn River. We could put that in too. Do we want to swap? Let's just keep 3 Autumn Rivers, 3 Spring Rivers, 3 Summer Rivers, 3 Floodplains. Summer River lets you look at the next spell. You may put it in the bottom of your spell book. Spring River, look at your next spell. You may put it at the bottom of your spell book. Autumn River, look at your next spell. You may put it at the bottom of your spell book. So those are all pretty much the same. Floodplain, once per turn, you may flood an adjacent site. Undertow, staying within the body of water, you move target 1 step. Okay, well that's pretty good. Let's do that. Let's put in 2 Bullfrogs so that we have 3 Bullfrogs. We can take out 2 other cards. Let's take out the Tide Naiads or the Undines. This has Submerge. This site is flooded. It's a water site. And Anui Undine has +1 power for each site in her body of water. Let's take out the Undine because it's 5/5. We'll keep the Tide Naiads in there for now. We'll add a Bullfrog so that we have 3 Bullfrogs. This will help us get Bullfrogs more frequently. It has Genesis, and Bullfrog swallows another target minion here. He carries it disabled in his belly until he leaves the realm. So that's pretty good. Let's do that. Exceptional, we can play 3 Frogmen. So are there 3 other cards we want to take out? I think there are. Let's go ahead and take out Sedge Crabs and the 2 Sea Serpents. Sedge Crabs can only move themselves sideways, so those are not helpful. Sea Serpent is submerged and waterbound, so let's put in 3 Fellbog Frogmen instead. Frost Nova is also really good and exceptional. Let's take out the Coral Reef Kelpie, I think. Yep, 2 Coral Reef Kelpies coming out. We'll put in 2 Frost Novas. Those are exceptional. Geyser is an exceptional magic. I think we could put in Stormy Seas, so we have 2 Stormy Seas. Font of Life, what does Font of Life do? Font of Life, each ally heals an amount equal to the number of sites in its body of water. Let's swap that with Stormy Seas. Flood, Sunken Treasure, Guile Sirens I think is pretty good. Submerge at the start of your turn, force target nearby enemy minion to take a step towards Guile Sirens. Let's take that out and put Geyser in instead. This turn, flood target site and give each minion their airborne and then draw a card. Yes, that's what we want. Sea Raider is an exceptional mortal. Loots and pillages. When Sea Raider attacks and kills an enemy, its controller discards their topmost spell. You may cast that spell once per turn. Or Unland Eel. Polymorph is pretty good. That's also a frog theme. So let's put in Polymorph. Those are elites. Let's take out the Tide Naiads. Those are good. Bullfrog. Let's put in 2 Polymorphs. Wrath of the Sea costs 7. Let's take out this Syrian Hydra, immune to non-lethal damage. So let's take that one out. Wrath of the Sea. Do we need 2 Wrath of the Sea? Flood all sites adjacent to a body of water, then submerge all minions and artifacts in water. I think we only need 1, probably only need 1 board wipe. Let's just do 1 Wrath of the Sea, and Replication and Self-Same Simulacrum are both elites. We might want to put those in as well. So let's do 2 Self-Sames, maybe summoned as a basic copy of a nearby minion. So you can copy a minion, maybe copy your opponent's minions. Polar Bears can move as if the top and bottom edges of the realm were connected. That's pretty neat, but we'll take them out. And then we'll take out Swan Maiden, which has Airborne and Submerged, but we'll put in Replication, which lets you conjure a copy of an artifact carried by the caster. That's pretty good. So that's it. We'll take these cards out of the deck. The Kraken, the Deep Sea Mermaids, the Swamp Buffalo, Porcupine Pufferfish, the Undines, Sedge Crab, Sea Serpent, Coral Reef, Font of Life, Guile Sirens, Sea Raider, Syrian Hydra, Polar Bears, and Swan Maidens. Those are going to come out. So that, here's our Waveshaper. We'll put that right kind of like in the middle. And then these are our sites. We have an Atlas, we have a Tadpole Pool. Let's do uniques over here. Okay, Waveshaper, Autumn River, Spring River, Summer River, and I'll fan those out. Floodplain is exceptional. good. Undertow, 3 copies of those exceptionals. Elite, unique, exceptional, unique. Let's do Free City is an exceptional. Let's see. Kneels before none. Once per turn, you may attack or defend against enemy units here. Why don't we just take that one out. Let's put another, I think I have an Autumn River. There we go. Let's just do a 4th Autumn River instead of this Free City. And then we have Tadpole Pool. Mirror Realm is our other unique site. Maelstrom is also a unique, so we have 3 unique sites. And Island of Ileton is an elite site. So this should be 20, 4, 8, 11, 14, 17, and 20. So there's our 20 sites. Perfect. Now this should be 40 spells. We'll start with the elites over here. Wrath of the Sea, 2 polymorphs, 2 self-same simulacrums, and a replication. Those are going to be our elite cards for this Waveshaper deck. And then we have ordinaries. We have 2 Ice Lance, 4 copies of Drown, 4 copies of Riptide, 4 copies of Pirate Ship, 4 copies of Tufted Turtles, and then exceptionals, we have a Geyser, we have 2 Frost Novas, 3 Felbog Frogmen, 2 Stormy Seas, a Mariner's Curse that whenever a minion enters an affected water site, submerge it and return Mariner's Curse to its owner's hand. Pretty cool. Then we have Flood is an exceptional. Sunken Treasure is exceptional. Tide Naiads and Broad Bing Nang Bullfrog. So this is our 40 spells that we want in our deck, and our 20 atlases, and our Waveshaper avatar. I will, in subsequent videos after this one, I'll do deck techs and budget upgrades for the other decks in the Elemental series. All of these cards you can pick up for probably under $100. The basic Waveshaper pre-constructed deck is about $10 to $15, including shipping, and then you can pick up a handful of other cards for under $100. Swap them out for the less playable cards and put in more copies of the better cards so that you have higher chance at pulling those in your gameplay. I'll do the other decks, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these, and then eventually I'll play test a couple of the decks against each other and see which matchups work the best. I want to thank Hayne and Jesse for the idea to do the deck techs. They both had interesting takes on their decks. You can obviously add in some of the really good cards like Philosopher's Stone and the cores if you want, but these videos are going to be how to do it on a budget if you just want to try the game out at your local game store and see how the decks function. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to testing the other decks and eventually playing them against each other and seeing which decks I like to play the best. Have a great day, everyone.